Hey everybody, this is Jose Blasco. This is a sound check. We are about to start. Please give me a quick confirmation of the chat box so I know that you hear my voice. A quick hello would do. Just a little nice something for you to say. That would be great. Thank you so much, Dirk. Nice to see you. Very good. So I'm just maximizing here the introduction slide so we can start our session today. Very good. Perfect. Okay. Cool. Very good, everybody. So let's begin. Today is 25 of September 2019. My name is Jose Blasco. I will be your guide. And today I am guiding you into the world of intraday trading. We are getting together for short-term purposes. So we'll be looking at opportunities in the markets. We'll start with the futures. We'll look at the Forex too. We'll be looking at small time frames because, again, today it's all about intraday. Okay, that's the plan. Good to see you all. I can see all the hello messages. Very nice, everyone. Very nice. Okay, disclaimer before we start. The following videos, clips, demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Tradictive provides these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the product. Users understand that all the content used in the video is purely for demonstration purposes only and is not a guide and does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through a demonstration do not indicate in any way the results you may receive on using our products. Good, that's it. Introduction is over. We got the disclaimer, we got the dates, we got what's the session about. So we are ready to begin, okay? It's a few weeks now that, we started using auto climate in the sessions, and not only applied to charts, but also applied to read the screen. And it's been very useful to save us time because, just by having a quick look to the screen, you automatically understand where you are at in those different potential opportunities, isn't it? So what do we have at the moment? Okay, we have a green alert in the gold contract using 15-minute time frame as a common time frame. But as you can see, we have the word hopeful, okay, because we've been 6 candles into this climate, okay, where when this market goes down, statistically speaking, it goes down by 4.85, let's call it 5. Okay, so when that's the case, we normally take 50% of that, so 50% is 2.5, so that would be 7.5 candles. Okay, we are now in the 6th candle. Okay, so really there is not much room to go, even though it could go further, but statistically it's a little hopeful, okay, as the name suggests, and therefore I would prefer to leave gold alone for now and focus on lean hogs, okay, which do look like a better opportunity. It shows as sensible. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open our workspace for lean hogs. Okay, interesting. I'm having a little issue with TradeStation that is not reacting to me. Just 1 second, guys. I'm gonna be doing a reset of my TradeStation here. Not sure what happened, but in order to avoid problems that could happen during the session, so I will quickly do a reset and relaunch TradeStation just to make sure everything goes smooth. So working on this on my other computer screen, you would see TradeStation in a second. Back up as I type username and password. Okay, guys, so sorry for that, but let's do this quickly to avoid further issues. Okay. Okay, so the password is in. Okay, we should have the red screen again back up in a second, and we will be then able to open the workspaces with the charts and plan the trade properly. Okay, so let's do that. Look at that! I just opened the wrong desktop. Sorry for that. I wanted to open the short-term desktop and I opened the long-term desktop. Human error here. This happens sometimes when you are a little bit rushing. Since I wanna plan those trades, you've heard me say that a million times. I love to execute those trades right before the market opens, so we can take advantage of them as the market opens. Normally at the beginning, when the market opens, we normally experience a peak of volatility, and this means traveling faster to your target in case you are right on the direction. Okay, so I'm just working on my other computer screen where I am launching my short-term workspaces, and I will move that into the main screen that you see in just a few seconds from now. Okay, so we are going to get, here we go, we have it. Okay, so back to TradeStation. You know what, I will also close the long term. Okay, okay, so again, we are back here to our green flashing light on lean hogs. Okay, so I am going to now open the workspace, and I can see now my TradeStation does react to me. I don't know what happened before, but we'll shoot for LH, that's the lean hogs. Okay, and we'll be loading that workspace. Okay, certain markets, you know, such as the S&P, the Nasdaq, and many of you know what I'm about to say. Certain markets such as the S&P and Nasdaq, etc., they are markets that when we trade using futures as an asset, those markets are use contracts that expire every 3 months. So those markets expire every 3 months, and therefore the moment you have selected the symbol for the trade, in the case of the S&P, for example, it would be ESZ19, then that market symbol you know, stays there for a long time. There is no need to go ahead and do any significant changes, isn't it? Because that contract will remain alive and with the highest liquidity during 3 months, and therefore we don't need to do anything. We just keep trading the ESZ19 if that was the case. But other markets, okay, and this normally applies to the commodities, okay, and even though lean hogs is technically is a meat product, but you know, I'm gonna just put in the same basket of commodities such as gold or crude oil. I'm just gonna call it all together commodities. This is a little incorrect, but it's okay. And you know, so when you do that, okay, basically you are dealing with markets that has many more expiration dates, and it's always critical, okay, to make sure that you use the right expiration date. You have seen me before using a website which is barcharts.com, and I'm bringing it now in the main screen, where simply by getting into the futures menu here and clicking on contract specifications, you get to this place where now, by looking at the symbol right before the number, which is the year, you can see the expiration date, okay, which is the letter Z. Okay, so you gotta make sure that you're using the right symbology when you trade futures, because if not, you could get filled in the wrong contract, and not only you will get different prices, on top of that you may get even slippage, okay, and that would hurt the trade. So I am now switching the symbol from @LH, which is the one I have, to @LHZ19. This should give me the very same chart, okay, but what's going to be different though, data request failed, incorrect symbol. Why is that? Oh, you know what? I remember this happens to us the other day. Let me see. 22. Yeah, the Z is the one with the greatest liquidity. That's interesting. That's interesting. The Z is the one with the greatest liquidity. Why is it that TradeStation is not taking that one? Interesting. Okay, well, I just remembered having the very same problem in the last session, and then I forgot to check on that. Okay, so I'll have to check on that, guys. Okay, I apologize for that one. But anyway, this is what you will want to do. You will want to double check either manually, and you know, to save time, I love to do it with barchart.com. So you can check what is the contract with the greatest liquidity, and that would be the expiration months that you will want to use. Okay. Yeah, I see that there, but really, as we have seen clearly, okay, the liquidity is now on the Z, and I'm curious to know. I mean, I will understand that TradeStation is using the V maybe the day prior to the real rollover or something like that, but it's clear when looking at this website that, I mean, it doesn't even compare 22,000 versus 7,800 or 96,000 compared to 49,000. It really doesn't even compare. So TradeStation should have should have moved into that Z contract instead of the V. Okay, and so therefore, even though I could go ahead and use the V, like TradeStation would suggest at this moment in time, then as a trader, I know I would not be executed in the contract with the highest liquidity. And therefore, again, I may get slippage, I may get the worst prices, etc., and I'm not going to do that. I rather ignore the trade and close the workspace the way I did, even though, it's always a little sad to do that because, as traders, we want to trade. The toughest thing for traders to do, isn't it, is to just sit on your hands. Okay, this is not something normally that we enjoy doing. But, anytime you have a question which is unanswered, and you don't know why something is the way it is, it's better to not to trade because it means that there is something that is out of your control and therefore there is some hoping in the process, and we should never fall into such trap, which is very human, isn't it? Yeah, I hear dear. Yeah, if I leave out the symbol, Geneva, I am fine with the execution, but then for the moving average, isn't it? And also for the statistics for the climate, then I will not have the proper historical data. Okay, and certainly I can play with two symbols: the at for the common time frame and the non-at for the regular edge time frame. But again, I would like to keep it simple for myself, and I'm not going to do that. Okay, so what we're going to do, again, more opportunities will be forming, as we speak. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is go back to my web browser. Okay, so I can load my trading view charts. Okay, so we can begin planning also on some Forex trades. Okay, I first need to log in. So really quick, give me a sec. I am signing in my TradingView account so I can load my customized watch list for Forex, as well as loading my customized layouts that I save here and that I can then go ahead and load. Okay, such as UFO 240. Okay, this would be the one that I would use for Forex trades using the 240. Yeah, and then I would be using the 60 as well. Here we go. So we have 60 and 240. Okay, so we're gonna start planning those trades as well. Okay, so again, on the upper right, I got my FX majors. Okay, you've seen this before. Okay, just for the ones of you joining the session for the first time, notice I have created, this is manually done by me. Okay, I have created a list with majors and a list with minors. Those two lists are the two lists I normally use in the sessions, and I always start with the majors. Okay, because they are more liquid. So if I find opportunities there, I am likely going to find more on-field orders, and I'm likely gonna get less slippage. Okay, so highly liquid markets are certainly recommended. Okay, so start from the top. We got the Australian dollar. Okay, confirm climate. Okay, very clearly confirm climate, but careful, because when that market goes down is by 5 candles in the 60-minute time frame. You can see here 60, isn't it? Okay, and currently we already got 10 candles into the climate. Okay, and this means that now we are being a little too hopeful here, isn't it? So we would want that market to have a nice retracement before we get in. Okay, Euro US dollar. Okay, similar situation. So when that market is going down, it's 6.67 candles. Currently we got 13, so we're simply gonna pass. Okay, so I can go through my list in this fashion. Okay. Until I find an opportunity. The other thing I could do is to simply go ahead, okay, and look at my Forex currencies, okay, which are here, where here I got my 60-minute climates. Notice that I am applying 60-minute climates only to the majors, which are the currencies I have in here, okay, because then to the same majors I am applying the 240, which we'll check as well, and then on the right I got minors, okay, and all those minors I'm only using 240. You could certainly use 60, especially if you use a very good broker with very good execution. But certainly you are now losing a little bit of liquidity when you move into the world of minors, and therefore the 240-minute time frame will produce a combination. Okay, remember and by the way, I have it wrong here, so I need to rectify it. So when we do 240 minutes, Okay, let me get into the Aussie, for example. So when we are using Forex and we use the 4-hour time frame for common, okay, which is the chart I'm loading right here right now. Okay, so 240 minutes for common. The one above, which is our edge time frame, okay, you probably remember based on sessions and lessons that we have done before, the proper time frame to use is the 21, isn't it? So now instead of planning trades, take a look. Instead of planning trades using the 8-minute time frame, which is the one we combine with the 60, we are planning trades with the 21-minute time frame combined with the 4-hour time frame. Okay, and what happens? Well, now our zones are going to be wider, the distance from entry to stop is going to be more, and that's going to help you to alleviate the problem when dealing with markets that are a little less liquid. Okay, and that's why when looking at the radar screens, you can see that for the minors, okay, I am basically exclusively using the 4-hour time frame. Okay, even though it would not be crazy if you have a good broker to use the 60-minute time frame. Okay, but anyway, so where are the opportunities? Well, it seems that we have a potential near sensible long with the US dollar Swiss franc. Okay, US dollar Swiss franc. So let's go ahead and with the 60-minute time frame setup again, we look at the US dollar Swiss franc, see what we got. So so we got 2 candles into the up climate. Okay, 2 candles into the up climate. Current value for the average is 98.66, and 98.66 falls very, very nicely within those 2 UFOs that are overlapping each other. And by the way, price is coming in now, so it's actually time to take the trade. Okay, so the only thing left here now will be to set my target. Okay, so to set my target, I am gonna maximize my common time frame, disable the average, enable auto UFOs, and the moment I do that, I will move to the next common time frame, which is from 1, we go to 4 hours. So when I do that, it's gonna show me that the next red UFO, which is gonna be the target, is located at 0.9890. That would be the target for the Swissy, okay, the Swiss franc. Okay, that would be the target. Okay, so disabling auto UFOs, going back to the 1-hour time frame, re-enabling the EMA, and restoring down the chart. Okay, just to get everything back to normal from a view point of view. Okay, and then again with the Swiss franc. Okay, we got the entry price level here set at 68. You can see we are like the current price is 70, so we are 2 pips away, 1 pip away. Really, we are very, very close to meet entry. Okay, so let's go ahead and type the parameters for this trade. Okay, let's go ahead and type the parameters for this trade. So let's go for it. Okay, so first of all, from a target point of view, okay, the final target, okay, I said it before. So the final target is going to be 0.9890. Okay, we got that using auto UFOs applied to the 4-hour time frame, which is the current common time frame plus 1. Okay, so we go for the next common time frame. Then we're gonna have somewhere in the middle, 1990, somewhere in the middle, we're gonna have a safety target. Okay, and this we need to calculate because that safety target, okay, will depend on where the long entry is, okay, which the long entry is going to be 0.9868, isn't it? That's what we saw, okay, but 68, remember, is a buy order, okay, so when we use buy orders, we always need to add 2, so that would be 98.70, and then we're going to have the stop loss below, okay, which is going to be below. You can see the olive green UFO located at 98.59, right? So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna move these 5 pips down, okay? And that's gonna make this to be 54, okay? So from 54 to 70, we got 16 pips, okay? And unfortunately, this is not a good news. That would bring our safety target to be located at 0.9886, which is 16 pips away or above 70, okay? And why is that not a good news? Well, because the final target is only 4 pips away. In other words, your safety target is more or less located where the final target is, which means that unfortunately, in this case for the Swiss franc, even though we only got 2 candles into the climate, and this climate typically lasts for 5, well, because of the UFO that we found on the 4-hour time frame, probably that climate is not gonna statistically last the way it should based on stats, and it's probably going to have some sort of a reversal soon, and this trade is not gonna be worth it. Okay, unfortunately, it was looking very nice at some points, but then the reality is that it was not the proper one. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. Okay, and back to the red screen to see if I got something new. On the futures side, I got the same yellow light, so still gold, also the euro contract, but careful, okay, 15 candles into a climate that normally is 5, so the euro is really stretched to the downside. Could it keep going? Of course. Is it reasonable? Probably not, so we're just gonna ignore it. Okay, and therefore we're gonna keep working on the Forex pairs, and now it's time to move into the 4-hour setups, where we have a non-confirmed climate on the Japanese yen, gray color, so we will ignore it. And with the Swiss franc, we do have a confirmed climate, but we got 8 candles going down into a market that normally takes 3 candles going down, and it's been already 8. So again, just like the euro is very stretched on the 15-minute time frame, the Swiss franc happens to also be very stretched in the 4-hour time frame. So we are not going to touch those, and therefore we'll be looking at the minors, starting with the USDCAD, which does provide us with a confirmed climate, red color, not gray like here, is red. Okay, so confirmed climate, and we got 1 candle, okay, near sensible entry, 1 candle into a market that when falling normally will take 4.88, let's call it 5. Okay, so that's looking good for us to plan a trade on the USDCAD. Okay, so let's move into the charts. For our setup, I'm going to change my list to minors, and we'll pick the USDCAD and see what we got. Okay, so interesting. I thought I saw USDCAD. Yeah. Okay, so here's the rare situation where different data feeds give different information. The Forex data fee in TradeStation is providing the USDCAD with an opportunity, okay? But the FXCM data feed that is feeding TradingView in this case, you can see here FXCM, okay? You can see it here, FXCM. So that one is showing a non-confirmed climate, as you can see. So the climate is showing us non-confirmed. Okay, so of course we need to deal with what we have in front of us. Okay, and since we're using the chart, we're gonna respect that. Okay, and not to force it. It could happen. Okay, that when typing USDCAD, take a look. If instead of just picking the first from the list, I was to click on Forex, and instead of using again the first one on the list, which is FXCM, I was to pick OANDA, for example. Could be that I have a confirmed climate. Okay, in this case it's still not, but it could be. Okay, so again with Forex, remember we are dealing with a non-centralized market, and sometimes we can see those tiny differences, but in this case the difference is going from a confirmed climate to a non-confirmed climate, so it's a pretty big one in this case. Okay, so anyway, so next one, what is it? Euro yen, hopeful, Great British pound, New Zealand hopeful, and the pound Aussie dollar. That one is sensible with 2 candles only. Okay, so let's take a look at the pound Aussie, which is here. So we are loading all of this. Okay, and yep, same story here. Interestingly enough, I mean, I'm not surprised because those currencies are correlated, but we do have a non-confirmed climate here, where on the red screen I believe I saw the colored. Yeah, it's color red, which means that the data feed in TradeStation would assume the climate is confirmed, where it's not showing the same in TradingView. Okay, so we're gonna have to keep working on looking for other opportunities, because at this moment in time Forex is not providing anything for us. Okay, of course all of this is dynamic, and next thing you know, will have an alert on the screen, and a new opportunity will have formed. Okay, or for example, the yen that got a non-confirmed climate may have a confirmed climate. Okay, so all those things are certainly dynamic. Now, in the futures world, which is where I normally start before the market opens, we got 4 minutes from now. Yes, you're right there. I see that with the EuroCAD. So with the futures, which I was saying is where we normally start our sessions, today it's looking very, very slow. And this is Murphy's Law, by the way. If it's slow now, believe me, we're going to have to run later. So that's almost always the case. The market opens, everything starts moving, opportunities form, often multiple opportunities at a time, and then you have to rush. Okay, so we need to prepare ourselves. And therefore, what I'm going to do, I'm focusing now on this column, okay, the column with the ATR spread, looking for the opportunities with the smallest number, okay. You can see the Nasdaq, it's relatively close to the average, but I'm not too happy because we're already in hopeful territory. 0.78 would be the next peak, okay, with the S&P. That one is sensible, okay, but 5 out of 5, so we are about to become hopeful as well. Crude oil seems to be very stretched. That market has been falling 2% plus in today's session, which, sometimes we've seen crude oil move way more than that, but certainly a 2% move is a nice one, especially given the fact that the US market hasn't opened yet. So that's quite intense. And therefore, that means that we are far away from the average, okay? And we can certainly go and take a look, but normally, it wouldn't, you would not have the right UFOs lining up with the average yet and stuff, okay? So not too attracted to look at this one. The yen, again, it's another of the, if you wish, the smaller values on the list, okay? But again, I'm in the hopeful territory again. And natural gas as well, very stretched, even more than crude oil, 2.15, 8 years away from the average. Which means that this market is quite stretched, even though we are dealing with a sensible opportunity, 6 out of 9, but it's very, very stretched. Okay, so so we're gonna have to be patient here for other opportunities to form, because as we speak, none of those opportunities are meeting our rules. Okay, and it's quite rare, to be honest. Normally we do end up finding opportunities way faster. But that's what the market is giving us today. Okay, so patience needs to be in control here instead of falling into I want to trade, and then take any trade just because it's a trade. Okay, and by the way, probably I will need to reboot my computer, which I'm obviously going to try not to during the session, because TradeStation is not reacting the way I would expect. So I am one more time relaunching TradeStation, and hopefully it's gonna be better now. Earlier I remember opening the wrong workspace, but in any case, it's probably I will need to reboot my computer again. I'm finding my computer a little slow. But again, I will not do it now not to interrupt the session. Okay, so just I'm on the other computer screen. I am retyping my password to relog in TradeStation, and I will be sharing my screen with you in just a second. And my proposal to you, given the current market condition where almost everything is hopeful, right? And we don't trade hopefully, we trade based on sensible rules. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at crude oil or natural gas. Those are the two markets I would like to check, because they are the ones that are sensible. They are far from the average. So, maybe it's not really worth it to look at it already, but at least I can make a note of what the targets would be. And later, if I have to rush, then I don't need to look at the targets because I already have them in a piece of paper, if you wish. Okay, so just trying to make myself efficient with the use of time, especially if I have to rush later on. It's really uncomfortable to begin placing an order because you have an opportunity in front of you that looks good, and next thing you know, you just realize that, oh my god, but I forgot to look at the target, and then you had a bracket order halfway into the process, and then you have to cancel the order placement and everything. So that's not nice. Okay, and this could certainly happen easily to all of us. So I'm gonna try to be organized here, and therefore at least begin planning for the targets. So whenever it's time to trade, I'll be ready. Okay, so again, sensible short on crude oil, hopeful with the S&P, the Nasdaq, and the euro. So yeah, so and also sensible with natural gas. So I'm gonna go for the sensible natural gas and crude oil, knowing that the prices are far away. Okay, guys, something's happening with my trade station. Really, this is really not normal. Okay, so I'm gonna have to use my backup plan. So everybody, please bear with me. Okay, so I'm gonna kill trade station one more time. I'm really sorry about that. So I'm killing trade station. In parallel, I am launching another trade station that I run inside of a virtual machine. Okay, and running it into a virtual machine should kind of bypass the problems I sense in my computer. And again, sorry for that, guys. Incredible. Okay, guys, so Murphy's Law on top of Murphy's Law. Yeah, so I cannot do it. Okay, believe it or not. I cannot do it. Yeah, I have a trade station security filter that is blocking my virtual machine at the moment, guys. So anyway, so hey, let me restart trade station one more time. I'm just gonna launching trade station now, and I'm doing it with administrator privileges, just sharing what I'm doing on the other screen, just in case that was to help. Okay, so relogging in. I can see Dirk short GBP AUD. Okay, so I'm checking that while I'm loading trade station. Let me get that here. So you are saying JBP AUD. Okay, so 6 candles into the climate. Okay, well, unfortunately, I don't see a UFO in the 8-minute time frame. So do you mean that you are short already that market, or do you mean it's time to enter there? Because I don't see the same UFO. Okay, and again, it could be because we use different settings, or also because, as I said before, the Forex data feeds are different depending on the platform you use. If you're doing the analysis on TradeStation, you could certainly have some UFO on the chart that I don't, or vice versa. So my TradeStation is almost ready. I'll be touching wood and crossing fingers at the same time. I would really appreciate a smooth session to help you execute a few trades, which we haven't yet today, and I'm really not happy about this on my side. I really like to give you trades for you to practice, guys, and I haven't done today yet. Okay, so I really hope everything is going to be okay, so I can help you. Okay, so here's TradeStation back. Again, looking at the climates, we have the same thing. Gold seems to be changing, but it's unconfirmed, is gray color. So we are not gonna go with gold. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna open crude oil and natural gas. Okay, I want to open crude oil and natural gas. I also want to look at confirm, as I was saying before, okay, confirm the right symbols for both crude oil and natural gas, which are energies. Okay, so I want to click on energies. Okay, so energies, we got crude oil and natural gas. Yeah, I see your figures there, Dirk. Well, you can see my computer is really running slow, so I'm obviously having a problem on my end. So crude oil is using the X contract, okay, and natural gas is using the X contract, okay? So again, this is a process that could be done in different ways, confirming the symbols, okay? But notice how we got the V, okay? Notice how we got the V, okay? And, you know, the one with the proper liquidity is the X, based on what we just saw on the bar chart website, okay? So we need to be moving into the X to make sure that we're gonna be in the right place. Okay, so okay, natural gas. Okay, so the X, you can see here, 2,525, 40,000 for volume. Sorry, that was the previous. 40,000 for volume. Okay, so you can see much more liquidity on the X. And with crude oil, wow, I'm really having issues here, guys. Bear with me, please. I really love to fly through these sessions, and it seems today I'm gonna have to take it easy, okay? And notice how the X on crude oil as well is the one with the greatest quantity of volume, as you can see, okay? So, you know, that's what we need, okay? We need to use the X, okay? So on my trade station, I have the V. For natural gas, when looking at crude oil, I also have the V, okay? So we're gonna have, and you can see as well the result of lack of liquidity on the left, okay? Especially in the time-based time frame. So we're gonna change this to CLX19. That would be the symbol to be used. Okay, that would be the symbol to be used. And everything is reloading. You can see the chart is neater. So now we have the understanding that we are doing the right thing. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, so with crude oil, 2 dots into the climate. Okay, we know we got 2 candles. We saw that on the radar screen. Okay, notice that with crude oil also we're using 15-minute time frame as common. So 2 out of 6, right? So it's nice. Okay, we just need to plan a trade looking for entries around 56.12. So 12 is around this, and we got nothing in here. 12 is around here, and we may have this one, especially because if the average goes back up, if the price goes back up, then the average will go back up a little bit. So instead of 56.12, maybe 56.15 or something like that, and therefore you know, certainly that UFO is going to be something for us to use. And then notice that 15 overlaps with 16. And that one has an ending price of 19, but this one has the ending price being 20, which is more. Okay, so in other words, okay, this is going to be the UFO that we're going to be utilizing to plan on a trade, you know, with this market, okay, with crude oil. So I'm just trying to click on the box. Here we go. So 56.14, okay, 56.14. This is the bottom part. Okay, so 56.14 with 56.21, that would be the stop for that market. Okay, now if we do 21, my question is, what is the beginning price of that box? The box begins at 24. Okay, so that's good because that means that 21 puts the stop in the white space on the chart. I don't have the stop inside that other fat UFO. My stop is going to be in the middle of nowhere, which is exactly where you want the stop to be. Okay, so when it comes to targets, okay, for crude oil, if I activate AutoUFOs, okay, if I activate AutoUFOs and I go for the next time frame, which is the next common time frame, which is 60, given the huge amount of price falling, we are now getting close to that green UFO located at 54.40. Okay, so 54.40, that would be the location for that stop, okay, for that target, which is not that far away, and we could certainly get there, especially in such a fast moving market, which is in that mode in recent times, okay, because sometimes a fast moving market is in slow mode, but certainly the energy markets have been very intense since some time ago, isn't it? With everybody would attribute it to all the stuff happening with crude oil and Saudi and all of this. Whatever the reason is, we welcome it because price movement equal opportunity, right? So when looking at natural gas, okay, so we have the symbol to be changed, so we're gonna use at NGX19. Okay, the moment we do this, everything updates, okay, and the moment everything has updated, okay, the moment everything has updated, then we can go ahead and begin planning the trades. Okay, so what do we have? We have an average, again, in this case, it's fine. I prefer the trade with crude oil, to be honest, because here we got 6 candles into the climate is 9, so we can certainly, for sure, still enter, okay? But I prefer the trade with crude oil because of 2 reasons. Number one, oh, by the way, the chart was still loading. Now that the chart finished loading, 7 is the number and 6. So, you could see that this move, sorry, I didn't draw it right. You could see that this move going down is already quite stretched, okay, based on stats, okay? And when the move stretch, it tends to come back, okay, until it stretches again. So, not the ideal time to enter the trade on crude oil, but really what bothers me the most is that fat UFO on the left, okay, very, very wide UFO, where yes, the price of the average is somewhere in the middle, okay, but still, you would have your stop located so far away from the entry part of that UFO, and therefore the risk of the trade would be higher. But the worst part of all is that the location of your safety target would be so far that then it does not act as a safety target anymore. It's more of a target, intermediate target, okay, and then it doesn't work for safety purposes. So then, with all of this said, I am going to close this workspace with natural gas, and I will want to focus on the one with crude oil. Okay, so this is where my main focus is going to be, at least for now. Okay, I want to save the workspace. Wow, come on, TradeStation. Well, more than TradeStation, come on, computer. Something's going on my side, okay? But anyway, so what else do we have? Okay, the NASDAQ now beginning creating a down climate, even though it's not confirmed yet. So 15 minutes from now, we may have work to do with the NASDAQ that seems to be willing to create a new climate. Same with gold, that changing climate from down to up. NASDAQ was up, now becoming down. And the euro still hopeful, the S&P still hopeful. Okay, so the 2 markets I would like to add to my analysis are going to be gold and S&P. Okay, sorry, not the S&P, the gold and the NASDAQ. Okay, so gold and the NASDAQ are going to be the next 2 markets I would like to check. But I'm going to wait a few more minutes for that, and in the meantime I want to go back to the world of Forex. Okay, so notice how we have a Canadian dollar 60-minute opportunity that potentially may be forming. So we're gonna move to our 60-minute setup, okay, and I'm gonna input USDCAD, and see what we have. Okay, so we got three dots into a climate that normally is 5.77. Price approaching the average. We may have a trade here, 132.62. 132.62 certainly falls right where the meat of those on-field orders is, where the flying saucer is. So nice. I mean, it just went away because of price consuming those orders. So that's not a good news anymore, and therefore we're gonna go for the next one. Okay. So next one would be same Canadian dollar, but now instead of looking at it from a 60-minute point of view, we look at it in the 240-minute time frame. That, by the way, is the beauty of using the collection of time frames that we use, because many times it will keep you safe. Okay, one UFO went away in some time frame, but now the method is forcing you to go for the next time frame, and we may have it there, and because it's going to be a larger time frame, it's likely to be a better opportunity. Okay, so let me see what we have. So we have 3 candles into the climate here. Climate normally is 588. We got 3. Okay, average 132.60. Okay, 132.60. 132.60. And yeah, so this is the UFO that we're gonna use. Okay, so yeah, perfect. So the UFO went away on the 8-minute time frame, but with the 21 we still have a proper UFO for us to use to plan a trade. Okay, so let's find a target for the Canadian dollar. So activating AutoUFOs, disabling the EMA, moving to the next common time frame. Okay, and in that time frame, it seems that we do have a decent amount of room for movement, since the target will be located at 133.93. Okay, that's where the target could be in that particular trade, and that's what we're shooting for. So going back to my 4-hour time frame here, now that I know the target is located at 133.93, and now it's time to plan the trade. And I'm gonna write it on the screen, so be ready, because this one does look like it's gonna be a good one. The one with the Swiss franc didn't work earlier, but this one it will. So 133.93, that would be the final target. Safety target would be something to be calculated manually in a second. The long entry would be 1.3262, we said. Remember, because it's a buy order, we had 2, so it's 64. And then the stop loss would be located at 1.3251, as you can see. But because it's a stop, we had 5, so that would be 46. Okay, now from 46 to 64, okay, we got 18 pips. Am I saying this correctly? Yes, 18 pips. So 18 pips on top of 64, okay, that would be 132. I said 18, so that would be 82. Correct? Did I say this right? Let me do the math. Yes. So 132.82. Okay, so basically entry 64, stop 46, safety target 82, and then let it run until it gets to the 133.93. Okay, so that would be the one. Oh, very good job, Dirk, with your trade with the GBP AUD. Good one with that, and love it as well that you are sharing it with the other students. Unfortunately, when I loaded the chart, I didn't see the UFO myself, so I was not able to plan it for the group. But very kind of you to share it. So hopefully some of you were working in parallel as well, and you had the opportunity to plan it. Cool. So screenshot time will conclude in just a few seconds, and we'll go back to the red screen to see what other opportunities could be executed. Cool. Okay, guys, I can see today you guys are a little silent, okay, which probably has a lot to do with the few technical issues I have on my side, and I could understand that, but just just for me, guys, if that's okay, give me a quick message just to state if you're following the session well, everything is good, or if you need anything additional from me, guys. Okay, if all is good, just say all is good. It also helps me very much. So now looking at the miners, okay, we got 3 miners that could be source of opportunity. Okay, we got Swiss franc yen, GBP AUD, Euro CAD. So going back to the Forex, since the futures are still in the same position. So I'm going to go back to the miners, okay, and I'm going to look at the CHF JPY, Swiss franc yen, where we have a 3 candle climate into a climate that normally takes like 6 candles, okay. So we have the average 108.77. So 108.77, it's below this UFO, and unfortunately we don't have any other one here. Let me fast forward in this one to see what we have. No, not either. Okay, so the Swiss franc yen mathematically was making sense, but when looking at the UFOs, it doesn't. What else? Euro, New Zealand dollar, well, careful, that one is not confirmed. New Zealand yen, careful, that one is not confirmed. So we are left again with Euro CAD and GBP AUD. So I'll look at this again quickly, even though we did before. GBP AUD. Yeah, the shorting is happening much further away, so not for us yet. And what was the other one? EuroCAD right here, which is no red UFO at the price level where the average is. Okay, so back to here. 7 minutes from now we'll have a new update, and it is possible that the gold that currently has an unconfirmed climate may confirm. It is possible that the Nasdaq may come closer, okay, closer to the average, and maybe we have an opportunity. Okay, so let's look at the Nasdaq just to, like I did with crude oil. Let's begin planning on those trades. Okay, I'll review crude oil by the way as well. So we have a new update of the average with crude oil, okay, which is 56.03. Okay, 56.03. Well, 56.03 now is too low compared to this. Okay, 56.03. These ones are too low. These ones are too low. This one could be with the 0.05 being the top, but again, careful, because when price comes back up, the average will go back up, and that 56.04 will end up being more than 0.5. Okay, so at this moment in time, it doesn't work. But again, 7 minutes from now, 6 minutes from now, when we have a new update on the 15-minute time frame, then it may work. Okay, so let's take a look at the Nasdaq to see if we have an opportunity. As you can see, we have this new climate here, isn't it? Okay, so new climate, 1 out of 4.8. Okay, so that's pretty nice. So what we're looking for is UFOs around 77.18. Okay, and so we have 77.18. Okay, the average is 77.18.43. So certainly if this goes up from 06 to 18, we will be above that UFO, but I would say that it could be quite likely that maybe this UFO is in play, and maybe even this one. Okay, maybe even this one. So let me take a look, because I'm concerned that there is overlapping as well with the one on the left. Okay, so we need to look at this. So first, the one on the bottom is 77.21. Okay, 77.21 means that if I was to use this guy, okay, this UFO would be overlapping that UFO. Okay, so I could enter below at 21, but my stop would not be located at 23.5. My stop would be located at 25.5. Now my concern is 25.5, okay, is right here, maybe overlapping that UFO. So let's check. Let's check. Okay, so 2475, yes. So 2475 is the bottom part of this, which certainly is below 25.5. So in other words, that UFO on the right, the one in the middle, and the one on the left overlap each other. And what's the issue with that? Well, the issue is that then my stop would need to be above 39.5, creating a very, very wide range, and therefore moving my safety target very far away. And therefore my safety target doesn't work as a safety target anymore. So it seems that today is the day where we just keep saying no to the trades, okay? And again, this is when discipline is so important, even though probably it's you know, it's not ideal from the point of view of you know, when you want to sit in front of your computer and trade, you just want to take a trade and done, right? But in this case, you know, the rules are keeping us out from trading, which is probably even more important that when we trade, even though as a human it doesn't feel too good, isn't it? But we have to certainly respect when the rules tells you to not to trade. Okay, this is kind of a complaint I heard among so many traders. It's like, hey, I learned how to trade and I was told when to go long, when to go short, but I was never told when to not to trade. Okay, so that's the key. Okay, that's you know, that's avoiding losses. You know, I mean, imagine any trading distribution. Imagine any trader, no matter the trader, who took 100 trades, and now imagine that whatever profits and losses that trader made, imagine just removing, you know, X amount of percentage of the losses. Imagine you just got rid of a few of the losses. So what's the net result now of those 100 trades, which by the way would not be 100 anymore, maybe there would be, you know, 78. No? So what was the net result of those 78 trades now? Okay, probably a much better result with less trades. Okay, so knowing when not to trade is actually more important than knowing when to trade. Okay, so it doesn't feel good as a trader, but it's certainly something to be respected 100%. Okay, so we are 1 minute and 30 seconds from a new update. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to anticipate that maybe gold may give us now a defined climate. Okay, and which I would say is possible because we are 0.3 above. Okay, so we have some movement above the average, so we may have a defined climate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load gold. Okay, load gold, so I can check. And by the way, I'm going to do the same thing. This is something that even if it's not needed, I'm going to get into the habit of doing every session. So you guys also get into the habit and no one makes a mistake because of using the wrong contract. Okay, so I'm going to get into the habit of going ahead and always loading bar chart so you guys can see the contract. Okay, so the contract with gold is the Z. Okay, the Z, that's the contract we want to trade. Okay, so we are opening the contract. We already have Z from the last time, but again, it's healthy that we go ahead and we check. Okay, and what do we have? We just have a new candle, and unfortunately the climate, okay, it's still showing us not confirmed. So two non-confirmed climates in a row, which sometimes happen. It happened here, okay, but it's not something that happens that often, and right now it's happening. So again, we have to respect it. What a day! It's just like everything is stopping us from trading, isn't it? Well, interesting. Here it shows us confirm. Okay, so let me check that again. Maybe I didn't look at it correctly. Oh yeah, okay, I was looking at it before. So yeah, so the candle had not updated yet when I was looking at it. Okay, I was looking at it too quick. So yeah, so we do have a confirmed climate. Okay, but while we have a confirmed climate, price went on the other side of the average. So obviously we cannot short above the average. We short lining up with the average, but not above. Okay, so yeah, so we have to wait. Here, since the session will be concluded in just a second, what a I don't know how to call it. What a weird session today, isn't it? With much less trades than normal, but that's what it is. So you know, maybe out of this, price will fall. Okay, it will give you some UFO. Okay, and then you know, guess what? Now you can plan a trade because this price level, okay, maybe 1535, which is the average. Okay, so watch for this to happen. which hasn't happened yet, but it may happen. Okay, if this happens, you have a trade. So we may conclude the session, and 5 minutes later you have a trade ready to be executed. So keep watching it, okay, because this happens many times. Irwin was commenting on crude oil. So crude oil had another update. We got 4 candles now into the climate, still okay to trade. 55.96 is the value for the average now. So we cannot use this one. We cannot use this one. So 96 would be this one. Okay, and this one I would say now is going to be fine, because if the market goes up, the average will go up. It will become 97, 98, 99, 56.01. No matter what, all of this falls into this UFO up to 05. So it's looking like this could be a trade. So I'm just gonna type it on the screen. Okay, so you can place the order, or you know what? I'm just gonna place the order, and that's it. That way you have it. So the bottom part is 55.97. So looking at 55.97 right here. Okay, I'm just gonna click with 2 contracts, as I always do. So we'll place our stop located at 06. Okay, so our stop will be located at 06. That would make the safety target to be 88. Okay, 88. And then the final target we said is gonna be 54.40, which is way lower. Okay, way lower. So lots of dragging to get there. Again, when we have those targets so far away, it's always very nice, but also the probability of getting there in an intraday move is less, even though, as I said before, crude oil is such a fast mover, and we've seen that before. Okay, so expose yourself to it, and if not, keep trailing stop. And if you get to the end of the day and you have not got to the target and the market is about to close, to not to get impacted by overnight margin and risk of gap, just close the trade for whatever profit that is, and that's it. Okay, so here you have it. You can see the values here. Okay, so instead of typing 55.97, that's the entry. 55.06 is the stop. 55.88 safety target, and finally finer target all the way to 54.40. Cool. So my friends, this is the session today. That's the session, and we're done. Okay, so I will see you again tomorrow for the longer term day. We'll be dealing with the options and longer time frames, and I will see you then. Again, I feel terrible at the beginning part of the session. I was struggling a little with my machine, and everything was moving quite slow, and we didn't execute a little more today, but hey, that's what it is. So hopefully the session still help you to understand everything. Okay, are you not afraid of the CL report at 10:30, Ellen? I am not. Certainly things could happen very quickly when the report is reported, but Elena, you have been in the sessions with us for a while, and I'm not sure if you have seen it or not, but many times I place orders right before the market opens. Okay, today I could not, but many times. And I always make the same comment, that when the market opens, normally you have a push. And I love it because if I'm wrong, I get stopped out very quickly. If I'm right, I get to my safety target very quickly and final target also. And so a news like that, it's gonna do a similar effect like when the market opens. So could it be that you get stopped out and you get a little slippage? Yes, but to me it's worth it because if you do get the movement in the right direction, again, it's very nice to see price moving towards your target very quickly, and not only because it's nice to see, but because you increase your probability to maximizing the profit of the trade. Okay, so not a concern. Okay, I'll make one last comment, Ellen. Your question is very good. If you were to do that in a market that is not very liquid, okay, then I would be very concerned. Okay, because then slippage could be a very big problem. Okay, but crude oil is such a liquid product. Okay, and for markets like that, I have no issue. Anyway, so hopefully all of this help you guys. See you around. I will see you again tomorrow in the longer term session, and keep up the good work. Loving everything I hear from you. Many times you send emails, and my team will forward them to me. And it's lovely to see what you guys are doing. So keep up the good work. Keep up with asking the questions. Sending your trade examples, consulting with us if you need us, and welcome. We welcome the good news. We welcome the feedback as well, and for sure, if you need help because maybe your results are not what you want and you're struggling, which could be too, make sure you communicate with us and you let us know. Okay, don't be isolated and going through a difficult situation and you don't tell us. Okay, so we are here to help. You guys take care, my friends, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone.